Hi everyone, happy 2021. How's it going? I finally got the balls to come back here and start filming some YouTube videos and making videos and talking about my bereavement journey and what I am doing and the things that have been going on since I lost both my babies. Today is January 4th. It's actually my daughter's due date day. So we just passed her third birthday on December 31st. And today was actually the day she was due. But I'm feeling really happy today and I'm feeling like I'm in good spirits. There's a lot of good stuff going on in my life right now. So I'm very not sad and mopey and dopey and fucking all a big fat mess. I literally have been laying on my couch since December 30th. So today is the first day I got a shower, did my hair, put on some makeup, and decided I wanted to talk about Gacy today. Today I wanted to talk about what they think is the really extremely rare genetic disease that my children had developed, which had ultimately killed them. Gacy, it's GACI, and it stands for Generalized Arterial Calcifications of Infancy. So, a common thing that was both in my daughter and son's autopsy was that they had small calcifications within their arteries. It is something, so what they found it to not be alarming in my daughter because it was in her placenta, that I was at 39 weeks when I gave birth to her. They will see calcifications develop in an aged placenta, a placenta that is 40 weeks plus. Like if you're a week late delivering your baby, sometimes they will find those same calcification in any normal placenta. So it's not extremely uncommon to see calcifications develop, but the calcifications inside the children and inside the arteries is what is apparently, I guess, deadly. I went crazy thinking calcifications, like calcium. So what? Did I drink too much milk? Like, I was chugging milk during both of my pregnancies. I freaking was wondering if it had anything to do with my diet. I literally dissected everything I was doing, eating everything, and they're like, no. It's just because it's calcifications doesn't mean it developed from calcium. It's just something that now what they think is a recessive chromosome that I carry and that Patrick carried. So if we came together, which we did, and I have this recessive chromosome and he has this recessive chromosome, when we have a baby, there's a good chance that when these chromosomes come together, they develop that Gacy. They develop the rare disease. So it is 1 out of 4, a 25% chance that if two recessive carriers have this and make a baby, that the baby will get this. So we hit a 25% chance twice, which is unfucking real. And now I'm going to be saying this all lightly because unfortunately we do not have the science and the scientific backup for this. This is just a theory, and what is heartbreaking for the fact that I won't ever have scientific backup unless I went out and did the testing for this chromosome on its own, which I'm going to say I have it probably, and it's a $6,000 out-of-pocket test. I don't feel the need that that's necessary right now. I don't plan on having any more children, and I am single, and I'm recently single, and that's a whole nother YouTube thing, and I just It's okay. I'm just trying to heal and get through life right now. Unfortunately, they only held on to my son's DNA for a year. So by the time I talked to specialists, the neonatologist that was there when my son passed away, that was my son's doctor, my specialist doctor, by the time we had this meeting of the minds and we got this together and we found out like this could be what killed the babies, it was already a year after I had lost my son. So hospitals only hold on to tissue for a year. And then 2020 happened. I birthed my son January 2019. I got all of the information for it exactly January, a year ago. And then I kind of was going back and forth with doing different testing on myself. Like I've done a full sequencing, and just to kind of rule out any kind of simpler stuff, it was already too late. So as much as I'm very upset, and my son's DNA would have been tested and we would have had like the yes or no. Okay, so if they had my son's tissue and they tested it for Gacy, that would have been it. Like we would have like just for facts known that's what my children had. We don't have that. So like I said, there are different options on the road. The chances of me ever having a partner again that's a recessive carrier of this chromosome is extremely rare. But just for any kind of calmness for my mind and state of tranquility, if I ever decide to have a baby again, I will probably hope that I'm rich enough that I can afford all this testing. But I know a lot of people have been asking and wondering, how does somebody just lose two perfect babies at birth for no reason? So that's a theory, and it's gonna only be a theory for a while. As of now, I just know I lost my son and my daughter for nothing. My daughter was a day late, maybe my son was a couple of weeks early. Or I hit this freaking weird recessive gene, Gacy rare disease, and my poor children died. Like if baby Patrick wasn't born as early as he was, and if I carried him to full term, there's a very high chance that he would have been a stillbirth like his sister. Raina, if I had given birth to her days sooner and she was born alive and then passed away the next day, like that could have been a high option as well. If that had happened, they would have been more alert and probably they would have took the case and what had happened more seriously, and they probably would have realized, okay, a beautiful little baby, healthy girl with a woman who had a healthy pregnancy with nothing, not a single allergy, just lost this baby the day after the baby was born. This doesn't line up. This doesn't add up. So and then the fact that I had to go through that twice for us to like actually take this seriously, and my children don't get life because of this. It's just, you know, I wish the doctors weren't so, stillbirths happen. No, there's something wrong. So, well, I wanted to get that off my chest, put that on the table, and the numbers are crazy. It's 1 in every 500,000 births does a child in a year are born with Gacy. 1 in every 500,000. And then it's like I said, if I am a recessive carrier of this chromosome, and so was my ex and their father, the chances of us actually having a baby that dies in infancy is, there's only a 25% chance that the baby gets that, and we hit it twice. So the 1 in 4 chances, even if we were together and wanted to have another baby, It would be rare, but you know, the odds were in our favor the second time around. So it's a lot to swallow. It's a lot to comprehend, and it's a lot to digest when it's your body and your children that lost the gift of life. And my life has been flipped upside down since it. So I can't ever express enough how grateful I am for all the doctors and the researchers and the people who in the healthcare system still have reached out. Even it's been almost 2 years since I lost my son, and just check in on us and talk to us. It means a lot. But that is gonna be it. That's really it for Gacy. And if anybody else has any information or any questions, I am such an open book to talking about it and hearing other people's stories and what have their experiences been with this, and if they've heard anything like this. And I finally just recently talked to a mother, because for the longest time it was very hard for me to find a woman that could relate to me, because I understand women have stillbirths. Oh my god, my dog almost just fell through the window. Sorry, doggies. They always interrupt my videos too. Can you guys knock it off, please? I couldn't find that weird unicorn mom that actually kind of went through 2 pregnancies, got to the end, got through all the milestones, and then at the end still lost her child. And like, you know, with stillbirth, baby Patrick was alive. So it was very hard for me to find someone who had experiences very, very similar to mine. There are many women out there who have had miscarriages. There are many women out there that have miscarriages and then a stillbirth, and loss is so freaking horrible no matter what at any time in a pregnancy. But even if a parent loses a child, it's just tragic. It's tragic. So I just think that I shared my story on a support group, and I found someone who literally had a little girl and then had a little boy, and her babies were both alive and only lived for a couple days. And this woman lives in Africa, and their culture and their care is so different than what we have here in the United States. And it really blew my mind how alone this woman feels, and I feel very isolated and alone, and I could not imagine living in a culture that is so cold and callous and can forget about life and the creation of life like that. So I need to reach out to this beautiful woman again and just check in on her, because I know her timeline was very similar to my timeline too. So I was like, whoa. When I heard her story, I cried. So yeah, still trucking along. 2020 was insane. I don't know how. We all made it. We made it. So I'm just happy to get back into it. I know it's day 4, but I'm just happy that 2020 energy is out of here. We can finally all think about normalcy, and I know it's not happening like this, like things aren't changing, but we're gonna be there. So yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff that happened. Quarantine, how many people wanted to like freaking jump off their roof because you couldn't go anywhere else. It's been a wild life for us, huh? But yeah, so Gacy it is for now. And if anybody knows, I know we have autopsy slides. If I have any scientist friends or anybody out there that's in the healthcare system that have worked with doing testing on anybody that has been deceased with any kind of weird things like this. I wonder if there is, I know they can't test the autopsy slides, but if anybody has any idea of what I could possibly do with this, or if the autopsy slides just mean it's like the documents of the autopsy, which I have everything of that. I don't know. If somebody wants to clarify that for me, that would be cool. Exactly what an autopsy slide is. Maybe I'll Google it when I'm done with this. Forget I asked. Alright, so I'll be making more. Stay tuned, and I hope everybody's okay and well, and thank you for always listening and supporting me and loving me, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for y'all.